Okay, tonight we're going to be debating about performance-enhancing drugs in baseball. Now, first of all, what are performance-enhancing drugs? So, according to BaseballSteriods.com, there are nearly 50 known performance-enhancing drugs banned by baseball that fall into 4 separate categories known as stimulants, steroids, growth hormones, and there's another category. So, steroids is the main one everyone knows, but there's actually several different types. So, the current Major League Baseball policy on performance-enhancing drugs is a first-time failed drug test results in a 50-game ban, a second-time offense results in a 100-game ban, and a third-time offense results in a lifetime ban. So we actually believe that this policy is not harsh enough. So our resolution is that Major League Baseball should increase the punishment for use of performance-enhancing drugs to a 1-year ban for the first offense and a lifetime ban for the second offense. Now, this may seem harsh, but we'll show that if Major League Baseball truly wants to change their drug problem, this is the road they need to take. So we have a couple significant claims. One of them is that this problem is telling children it's okay to take steroids. It's telling them that it's okay to do whatever is necessary to get better. And it's saying that cheating pays off more than actual hard work. And these are bad morals we don't want kids to identify with or associate with. So Tommy Thompson, who is the Health and Human Services Secretary, quoted that professional athletes are role models to millions of young youth and aspiring athletes across the country. Now, that's kind of a known fact. We all know that kids look up to people. I'm sure we all looked up to sports figures or movie stars or rock stars. So what happens if these kids' idols start using steroids? Are they going to start using steroids? That seems like a rash sweeping generalization. But studies have shown that this trend is actually, it actually holds water. It's actually true. Charles A. Salas, who is a retired professor of health policy and administration, as well as exercise and sports science at Penn State University, said that various national surveys find between 4 and 12% of teenage boys, mainly athletes, are taking steroids. So there is an obvious trend of teen steroid use, and this is very concerning. Our second kind of significant problem is that taking steroids without a doctor's permission has actually been illegal since 1991. So not only are moral codes being broken or undermined, but federal laws are being broken. According to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, the policy or the punishment for possession of steroids is a 1-year prison sentence as well as a $1,000 fine, while trafficking steroid has a more severe punishment of a 5-year prison sentence and a $250,000 fine. So steroids are no joke to the federal government. Our third significant concern is that the health concern of the athletes taking these steroids. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, there's a long list of health effects based off steroids. In men, it can cause infertility, breast development, male pattern baldness. In women, excessive body hair growth, voice deepening. In teens, it can limit your growth and tendon rupture. In all ages and genders, we have pick your poison. It's heart attacks, stroke, blood clots, high blood pressure, acne, severe acne, liver cancer, liver tumors, HIV, AIDS. We have rage, aggression, mania, delusions. So there's obviously a whole bunch of problems that will affect athletes well beyond their careers. So our inherency problem is, or the inherency of this issue is, we believe the lack of fear of punishment is failing to deter athletes from taking steroids. Again, the current MLB policy is a first-time offense, 50 games, second time is 100-game ban, third time is a lifetime ban. And according to the SteroidEra.com, this plan was commissioned on November 15, 2005. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard of the Alex Rodriguez steroid allegations lately. If you follow sports, it's hard to miss this. SportsIllustrated.com said that Rodriguez's name appears on a list of 104 players who tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs in Major League Baseball's 2003 survey testing. So this was before the 2005 steroid policy, but I'll quickly show that things really haven't changed in these past 5-6 years. So if you ever heard of the Mitchell Report, it was a 20-month investigation of steroid use in baseball, which was concluded and published December 13, 2007. And this linked 89 players to steroids. So there are 32 teams in baseball, each with a 40-man roster, for a total of 1,280 players. So of those, 89 have been linked to steroids. So 7% of all Major League Baseball players have been linked to steroids. And so the numbers have not changed over the years, even with this new policy. We believe a new stricter policy is necessary if Major League Baseball wants to change this problem. So our solvency, how will our proposed policy change things? What's it going to do? Well, an example of how our strict policy works is the Olympics. They have a very strict punishment, and how often do you hear of steroid use in the Olympics? You'll hear of it, but it's only a couple cases because it's so rare. So according to ESPN.com, the Olympic steroid policy is a first-time failed drug test results in a 2-year ban, and a second-time failed test is a lifetime ban. So according to the Olympic.org, over 10,600 athletes participated in the 2000 Olympic Games, and of those, 12 failed the drug test for a result of 0.11%. So 1/10 of Olympians in the year 2000 failed the drug test. And in the 2004 Games, out of 10,600 roughly athletes, 12 failed their drug tests, 27 failed their drug tests. So the numbers went up, but it's still a 0.25% of the total sum of athletes. And according to the official website of the Beijing Games, en.beijing.cn, 11,020 athletes competed in the Beijing Games, and of those, 9 failed their drug tests, which is 0.08%. So obviously, the Olympic steroid usage is much less in baseball. So in conclusion, we believe our very strict policy will work, and if baseball wants to change their drug problem, they're going to need to take on a strict policy such as the one we proposed.